Sarah had always been close to her grandmother, who had a knack for storytelling, often weaving tales of spirits in the afterlife. When her grandmother passed away, Sarah found comfort in the memories they shared. One evening, as she sat alone in her dimly lit apartment, her phone buzzed with a text message. The sender's name made her heart skip a beat. It was her grandmother. The message read, "I have something to tell you." Confused and shaken, Sarah replied, hoping it was a cruel prank. But the response was immediate. "Meet me at my favorite spot." Her grandmother's favorite spot was the old oak tree in the park where they would sit for hours. Despite the gnawing fear, Sarah felt compelled to go, driven by an inexplicable force. The park was eerily silent, the moon casting long shadows. As she approached the tree, her phone buzzed again. Another message. "Look beneath the roots." Digging frantically with her hands, Sarah unearthed a small rusted box. Inside was a locket with a photo of her grandmother and a note, "I will always be with you." A chill swept over her as she realized her grandmother had known she would find it, even in death. The phone buzzed one last time, the screen flickering. "Goodbye, my dear." Then nothing. The messages vanished, leaving Sarah with an unsettling peace and a lingering question of how the impossible had occurred. Julia had always found solace in her garden, a patch of green serenity nestled behind her cottage. One crisp morning, as she dug to plant new bulbs, her shovel struck something hard. Curiosity piqued. She knelt to clear the soil with her hands, revealing the edge of a weathered wooden box. Her heart raced as she pried it open, revealing dusty relics, a tarnished locket, brittle letters, and an eerie porcelain doll. Intrigued but unnerved, she pocketed the locket and set the box aside, planning to investigate later. That night, as she lay in bed, a soft, mournful whisper echoed through her room. She sat up, heart thumping, and saw the doll from the box standing at the foot of her bed, its eyes glistening in the moonlight. The air grew cold as the whispers intensified, forming words that chilled her to the bone. "You disturbed my rest." Julia, paralyzed by fear, watched as the doll's head slowly turned, its gaze locking onto hers. In a panic, she fled to the garden, desperate to return the items to their resting place. As she dug frantically, the whispers turned to cries, and shadows danced around her, encircling her in a spectral embrace. With a final, desperate thrust of the shovel, the cries ceased, leaving Julia alone in the silent night, forever haunted by the secret she unearthed. In the sleepy town of Millhaven, rumors swirled about the old carnival grounds that had been abandoned for decades. Locals spoke of strange occurrences, but few dared to wander there. One crisp evening, a curious teenager named Lily decided to explore the eerie site. As she stepped onto the neglected grounds, a cold breeze whispered through the rusted rides, and the scent of stale popcorn lingered in the air. Her flashlight flickered, casting long shadows that danced menacingly. Suddenly, the distant sound of carnival music drifted through the mist, growing louder with each step she took. Heart pounding, Lily approached the dilapidated Ferris wheel, which groaned to life on its own. She froze, watching in horror as the carriages began to spin, revealing ghostly silhouettes of long-lost carnival visitors. Panic surged through her veins, and she turned to flee, but the ground beneath her shifted, revealing a hidden trapdoor. Before she could react, it swung open, pulling her into darkness. As silence enveloped the grounds once more, the music ceased, leaving only the chilling echo of Lily's scream. The carnival had claimed another soul, ensuring its secrets remained buried, yet ever watchful for the next unwary visitor. In the heart of an ancient forest, nestled between towering oaks and whispering pines, stood a quaint cottage. Its occupant, an enigmatic herbalist named Alara, was known for her remedies that cured ailments no doctor could. Villagers spoke of her skills with awe and a hint of fear, for her knowledge seemed to transcend generations. One evening, a desperate mother, Lila, arrived at Alara's door. Her son was gravely ill, and she had tried every remedy to no avail. Ilara welcomed her inside, her eyes glinting with a knowing confidence. As Lila sat by the fire, she noticed peculiar herbs hanging from the rafters, their scents intoxicating and strange. Ilara prepared a concoction, her movements deliberate and precise. She handed Lila the potion, assuring her it would cure her son. Grateful, Lila returned home. That night the forest seemed to come alive, shadows dancing under the moonlight. Lila awoke to a chilling wail echoing through the trees. Fearing for her son, she rushed to his side, only to find him standing by the window, eyes vacant, whispering in a voice not his own. "She knows," he murmured, pointing toward the forest. Terrified, Lila realized the herbalist's remedies came at a price. The next morning, the cottage stood empty, the forest reclaiming its secrets. Ilara and her dark knowledge had vanished, leaving only the haunting truth behind.